Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
It's been so long.
We've missed you guys.
Yeah,
We're back here.
yeah.
We are literally so back.
Yes.
Welcome to Phrygian, the podcast,
Welcome.
the best podcast known to man.
Yes.
Obvi. We are here today to basically have Miles talk to you for an hour. What is Miles talking about today, you might be wondering? Oh, let me tell you. It's Irish folk music. Let me give you a little background on Miles real quick. Miles is Irish. Miles is so Irish. He can do the little leprechaun heel click. He speaks a little bit of Irish. He's learning it on Duolingo.
Otherwise known as Dublinese.
Yeah, that. Miles
is glaring at me right now.
And also, Miles's middle name is Finn, spelled the Irish way.
Fion.
Fionn. There's an O in there.
Yeah.
He's currently setting things up, which is why I'm talking. But I get to talk about Miles, and that's always a fun time. Like he's just a guy.
I love talking about Miles.
It's a very fun time, honestly.
He's my favorite topic.
Okay. If that's what you'd like to call it.
Yeah.
Fun fact about WKNH, we got a new board for doing stuff.
Yeah.
Do I know what it does? Not really. Do I know that?
It's very pretty.
It is.
It's a lot of buttons, and I want to push all of them.
It's got pretty lights, but we're not going to push all of them because I don't think that the people in charge of this station would like that very much.
Probably not.
Yeah, especially after they put in so much work to get our website back up and running,
Yes.
WKNH.rocks. Woohoo!
And that's why we haven't been able to be here for a while, so we apologize greatly for that. We missed you.
And also the fact that we were on spring break for a week.
Yeah.
There was, the day before spring break, and then the day that we were on spring break, I was actively on a train to Paris.
Because someone decided that they had to go to France.
I didn't have to, but I chose to. My mother and I went on a vacation to France. It was lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you speak in some French for us?
Oui, je sais comment parler en français, et je suis très fatiguée à parler en français. Which I just said, yes, I can speak some French. I'm very tired of speaking French because my brain became numb from speaking so much French. It was a mental exercise. It was phenomenal, though. Saw a lot of cool things, ate a lot of cool things. There are these funky little passageways. They're called traboules in Lyon, which are little merchant channels where, they would go and sneak around and stuff. And at one of them that we saw, there was two little baby heads.
Oh.
Just engraved in the wall.
Oh.
Not in like a weird way. It was just there. It was pretty sick. A lot of old buildings. Love me an old building. Do you have a preferred old building style?
I can't think of any.
I can think of one that you like. It's in Einbeck, Germany.
I like ones with pretty art on them.
Yeah, you like phrases.
Phrases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows exactly what he's talking about. See, Marley went to Germany.
I did. Yeah, I went to Germany with the choir last semester. That was very fun.
Oh.
I love Europe so much.
They have such good food. Their fruit is so fresh.
Oh my gosh.
God,
yeah.
I had a lemon meringue, my mom had a lemon meringue that I had a bite of that was just magnificent.
It's literally delectable.
The freshest of lemon. Ooh, I do
Yeah.
believe Miles is ready to start talking to you about Ireland. Are you ready to start talking to us about Ireland? He has that look. It's time to talk about Ireland. Now, Miles, just for the record, this is going to be a lot of Miles and a lot less of me and Marley. And that's okay. You're safe.
All right. Take it away.
All right.
Get to it, pretty boy.
Diolch. That's how you say hello in Irish.
Hi.
That's like the formal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
What's the informal hello, do you know?
It's just hi, but spelled Haigh.
I love Ireland.
Yeah.
So strange.
Anyways, if you don't know what Ireland is, maybe you should download a map. But it's a country in the north of Europe. It's an island next to the UK.
Whoa. They're known for potatoes and famine.
Yeah, and
Gingers.
drinking.
And
Anyways,
I have
So-
a fun anecdote about that, but I can't say that on air. So we'll
About
just
gingers? Or?
No, about drinking.
His fun anecdotes about gingers are just the fact that I'm ginger. Miles, please keep talking now.
anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about Irish traditional and folk music today because that is a big interest of mine, and I don't really get to share it a lot because we don't, like, at this college specifically in this music department, we don't really talk about traditional and folk music outside of classical, like, European music. So this is me actually being able to talk about one of my main interests. So yippee. So just as a sort of premise / disclaimer, a lot of what is considered Celtic or Irish traditional music today isn't actually like fully traditional Irish music. It's often like anglicized, and a lot of what we know today as folk music from Ireland was written down in like the 1500s, 1700s, like in between that time, because a lot of the traditional Irish music was passed down orally and due to English colonization, which I'll be talking about quite a lot in this episode.
I'll probably also have something to contribute, given that that's my area of history. Anyway, you keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of the music, the traditional music, was lost because, again, oral tradition plus the oppression and colonization of the English. So a lot of it was lost. But also, like, a lot of Irish folk music and traditional music is not meant to be performed in a concert on a stage like a lot of other music.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a community activity. So a lot of traditional folk music is not recorded. What I'm playing is some recorded versions of that and things that were written to be recorded and performed. So
Cool.
Yeah.
yippee.
Also, side question, Miles. You know how you're like a composer?
Yeah,
Do you ever tie Irish folk influences into your music?
constantly.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
Even though I did know the answer.
Yeah.
It just felt pertinent.
Yeah. I mean, to fully answer that question, we sort of need to dive into what characterizes Irish
Yeah.
folk music, which is my first
I love
topic.
segues.
So, a lot of Irish traditional and folk music is very modal, so it doesn't fit into the major and minor scales as the rest of classical music usually is in.
Yeah.
But a
Cough,
lot
cough.
of
Can you explain that a little bit more?
It's
what-
not. Is it? It's diatonic or it's not?
yeah,
Yeah.
but like a musical mode, we explained this in our first episode because our podcast name is a musical mode, but it's a mode of a scale. So if you take the major scale and you instead start it on the D, so it's D, E, F natural, G, A, B, C natural, D. So usually in the traditional D major scale, it's F sharps and C sharps, but we're lowering those for the Dorian mode. So that's modal music for you. But yeah, a lot of the Irish traditional and folk music is modal, but a lot of the modern notated music was notated by a man named Edward Bunting, and he was trained in English music, so he tried to anglicize it by
Oh.
trying to force it into a major and a minor.
That's never a
Mode.
good idea.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's the key areas. It's very, like, you'll see a lot of music in the key of D because a lot of traditional instruments are pitched in D. Like I have a
Like the Irish flute.
I have a wooden Irish flute. It's pitched in D, and a lot of the Irish flutes are pitched in D.
I have actually
so-
noticed a lot of music that is either labeled or intended to be in a Celtic style is often in D.
Yeah.
That is weird. I never knew that.
Yeah. Or it's like a mode of the D major scale. So
Yeah.
it'll, be usually it's Lydian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian, which is the natural minor.
Yeah.
So
Miles
Yep.
is just an educator today. I love it.
I'm an educated person.
I mean,
You're an educated.
he did start off as an education major.
I
That's
did.
true. So did you.
I've also taught two
Yeah.
2 summers in a row.
Whoa.
I've taught science though. Anyways, outside of the key areas that they're in you also see a lot of triple meter, so 6/8, 9/8 instead of the 1 2 3 4. You have 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it's more bouncy and lilting, I guess.
Quick question: is it that because they were also following like the Catholic Church, or like?
Honestly,
'cause I know that
What do you mean in the manner of following the Catholic Church?
like, okay, so in our like Western classes, we've talked about how like they would use compound meters because they're considered more holy than like simple, because it's divided into 3 versus 2, and 3 like the Holy Trinity and whatnot. So I wonder if they were influenced by that after.
I would wager.
that could definitely be true.
I mean, it could certainly be true
Yeah.
because after
England,
colonization,
yeah.
Catholicism became very prominent in Ireland.
Yeah.
So if I off the top of my head I can't remember dates, but
They were converted quite early in history.
Yeah.
they fought back
Yeah.
pretty aggressively.
As they should.
They went out with a mondo bang. But when they were converted, it, as is often common with the Catholic conversion that went on, their own like mythology was blended into Catholicism to create a mixture that kind of is still, you can see aspects of it today. I won't get into that too much because that's not what this is about, but it would make sense for that to be the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maya.
I don't know a definitive answer to that question, but I do think you're onto something there. If anybody else knows, let us know. But like, again, I don't know the specific answer to that question, but it is usually in a triple meter. But you will hear what's called a hornpipe, which is in 4/4, and that's a type of song. There's a few types of songs. There's jigs, which are dance music in a triple meter. That's what you hear a lot, especially during St. Patrick's Day. Hornpipes, again, which are in 4/4. They are also dance music. An air is a slow, no meter, sort of open-ended, usually vocal, but yeah. And then Shannos is the unaccompanied singing style. They can really fit any musical or any song style, but usually I'd say they fit in airs and acelings. Yes, acelings, which are traditional songs in which a country of Ireland is personified by a female character, and the character usually makes a prediction that Ireland will once again be free someday. So that's a very common theme.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. And especially like the vocal music is very highly ornamented. I didn't pick any for today, but there's this one song I listened to that's completely in the Irish language, and it's an unaccompanied vocal style, and it's every note is ornamented. There's no, straight singing style, and I think it's really, really nice. But other than voice, which is a huge part of the Irish music tradition, you'll also hear instruments such as fiddle, flute, banjo, bodhrán. Yeah, and a lot of more modern folk music. You'll hear the banjo because the banjo was invented more by Black Americans.
Yeah.
So
that's why I was confused.
Yeah. Anyway, the bodhrán, which is a drum. You'll hear a lot of other hand drums as well, and tin whistle, which is always fun.
Yes.
Uilleann pipes. I think that's how you pronounce them. Uilleann. It might be. I don't remember. But
Uilleann
pipes.
sounds right.
Yeah, pipes. And a harp, which, the harp is a huge symbol of Ireland. It's on the flag, not the tricolor flag, the other flag that they use. But fun fact about the harp symbolism. I don't remember which direction it was, but they wanted to put the harp facing one direction on the flag, but the brand Guinness had already trademarked it, so they had to make it face the opposite way. So that's just a fun fact.
That's actually so funny.
Yeah. But for the first song I'm going to play for you guys tonight, I'm going to play a song that is recorded by John McSherry. I believe it's from 2015, so obviously it's very recent, but it's on the Uilleann pipes, which I think are beautiful. It's not like your traditional Scottish Highland bagpipe, but it's it's a really nice instrument. So
Okay.
that was Sunrise at Bealtaine by John McSherry on the Uilleann pipes. There is also some flute and guitar in there.
Yeah.
So
If you're not filled with whimsy after that, are you even human?
real.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
As I was saying, while we were, doing our common yap while we listen to the music in the studio, I'm actually a very big fan of the hard stops that are very characteristic in Irish music. The where it goes like da 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 da.
Yeah.
I think it's such an interesting melodic
Yeah.
choice to make.
Yeah.
In a positive way. So yeah, I think it's a great time.
Yeah. And if you're currently listening on YouTube right now and you didn't get a chance to listen to that, Sunrise at Bealtaine by John McSherry, you should listen to us live on WKNH.rocks at 8 p.m. on Fridays. So
Or even perhaps WKNH 91.3, Keene State College Radio.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Multiple options, guys.
We
That's
give everybody
crazy.
options. We love options.
Yes.
I personally thrive on options myself.
real.
Anyway.
All right. Anyways. So yeah, that was a really nice piece and I really enjoy it. But I'm going to move on now to
A super fun topic.
yeah, the influence on Irish traditional folk music by English colonization and oppression. If you didn't know, Ireland was colonized and oppressed for hundreds, if not thousands of years by the English, and still continue to be to this day. Northern Ireland, let's go. But so, as I said before, pre-colonization, the music was passed down orally, but colonization by England that started in the mid to late 12th century didn't really allow music because, when you're trying to eradicate an entire culture, banning music is a big part of that.
Specifically.
Banning music and burning books.
Yep,
Yep.
I love it. I don't. I hate that. It's awful. It's a very common tactic, and especially from the English colonizers, they really wanted to eradicate culture and then basically create an Anglo-Saxon environment out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All of that tension culminates into all of these different things, and where during this time period there was still the dispute between, well, I'm Anglo-Saxon and you're Irish and I don't like Irish people, rather than pulling it in, rather than broadening the categories. But anyway, I'll let Miles talk now.
Yeah. So as I said, the colonization by England started in the mid to late 12th century, which is 1100s if you don't know centuries. They only gained independence as a country, except for Northern Ireland, in 1922. To give you a perspective on how long it was,
Yeah.
that was 102 years ago. 102 years ago. Crazy. And again, Northern Ireland is still under UK rule, so still not unified yet. But cultural practices like music and language were banned or, mostly banned via violence against practitioners or just straight up laws, which again would, justify the violence against practitioners. And after, they gained independence, they founded a lot of organizations to try to revive the genre and the music of the past. Notably is the Traditional Music in Ireland, founded in 1951. Society for Traditional Music in Ireland, founded in 1951. It also has an Irish name, which I usually can pronounce Irish names fine, but the second word I don't even want to try because I will embarrass myself, even though I am studying Irish. It's a hard language.
It is a hard language, and you know what? You're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to know every single word right away.
Real. But yeah, so after the majority of Ireland gained independence, there was a strong desire to reestablish that national identity and culture because it was robbed of them for hundreds of years.
Whoa.
Yeah. And one of the big points where their culture was robbed from them was the Great Famine of the mid-19th century, which is a misnomer because it wasn't really a famine. It was not natural. The British were literally starving them.
Yeah.
And they were, basically not allowing them to eat anything but potatoes. So, and in
kind of
that...
reminds you of another event that's happening today.
Yep. But so obviously that contributed to the decline in Irish music and art because they became luxuries that people could not afford and weren't really focused on because they were focused on,
Not dying.
living and
surviving.
trying to eat. So that was a big thing. History major, you have anything to say?
Not really.
Oh.
You're covering it pretty well.
Yeah. I don't want to be too overpowering.
No, I think you're doing great.
Okay.
If I had anything to say, I would have said it. I don't stop talking.
Okay. But also in adding, I don't know the right word to say.
Addition.
In addition, there we go. That's the right word. In addition to the forming of music societies and the desire to reestablish art and music in the country itself, due to the famine in Ireland and due to, war, oppression, there was a lot of people that immigrated to the U.S. and other countries, and they brought along their musical practices with them, which blended into the music of the countries they were going to. So, we have a lot of American Irish folk music over here, and we especially use it during St. Patrick's Day. So that's a big spreader and builder of what we know as traditional Irish music today.
It's funny because St. Patrick was
Yeah.
well, yeah, we all know.
I mean, St. Patrick is a tough topic because, of course, Ireland is a very Catholic country, and a lot of them like St. Patrick, and they view him as the patron saint of the country. However, pagans have a very different view of him, because if you didn't know, there were never snakes in Ireland. It's a very popular theory that these snakes were code and, word for pagans. He drove out the pagans, mostly by killing them.
Yep.
Yeah, but again, a lot of Irish people, Catholic, view him as the patron saint of the country. So
They're like, woohoo, I love killing pagans.
yeah,
Not really. They don't really recognize that particular theory.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it's not as celebrated as a holiday over in Ireland. It's mostly just celebrated in America so that people can drink.
Capitalism.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yippee.
Basically, just capitalizing and making money off of Irish culture.
And beer sales, yeah.
Yeah, and of course, especially in the New England area, a lot of people self-identify as Irish. So that
self-identify.
I mean, yeah, especially up here.
Yeah.
So, but now that I've yapped about that, I'm going to go to my second song of the night, which has to do with a lot about this topic. This is going to be The Fields of Athenry, which was written in 1979 by Pete St. John. It's a story that was set in the famine, and it's sort of about a man stealing food in County Galway and being sent to Australia, which was still a penal colony for England. And it's become sort of an anthem for Irish sports. All right, that was The Fields of Athenry about the High Kings.
Which is an absolutely smashing tune.
Yeah, it's
I
very
just
pretty.
wanted to
I
let
like it.
everyone know that by the end of it, we were all singing together.
It's
Yeah.
true. We were all just like, in the fields of Athenry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
great. It was amazing, and it was phenomenal. And I will be putting it on my playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to remind you that you are still listening to Phrygian, the podcast on WKNH 91.3 FM. Keene State College
Penn
Radio.
State College Radio.
Yes.
Penn College State Radio.
Someone
Correct.
actually sent a package to King State College the other day. I work at the mail room, if anyone didn't know. And that was fun.
I love going to King State College.
King State College. Because apparently there's a college that's like
There is. Indeed.
Yeah.
King
that doesn't surprise
University
me.
or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
that doesn't matter.
That's irrelevant to the current topic.
Yeah. Anyways,
You know what isn't irrelevant to the current topic? Whatever Miles is about to say.
Source.
Source
speaking
Miles.
still speaking on the English colonization, which, huge part of Irish history. After they gained independence, except for Northern Ireland, in the 50s and 60s specifically, Irish people, especially young people, considered the Irish language and a lot of music backwards and stuck in the past because they wanted to start anew, and things have changed now, so they weren't really interested in that kind of stuff. But thankfully now it's sort of gaining traction, but there's still a lot of resistance to the Irish language being taught in Irish schools. A lot of people don't like it, even though that is the language that is of that country. So, but thankfully people are a lot more willing to listen to and make and play, Irish traditional music today. And of course there have been a lot of movements for the language and the music coming back in full force. But another big event in Irish history that has to do with English colonization is the Easter Rising of 1916, which was, as you know, close to when they gained independence. So this was when they were fighting for their independence. And this next song is The Foggy Dew, sung by Sinead O'Connor and played by the Chieftains, which is a huge Irish traditional and folk music group. And of course, Sinead O'Connor is, I love her.
On air.
All right, that was The Foggy Dew by the Chieftains, sung by Sinead O'Connor.
I love her voice.
I love
It's
She's so
just
relaxing.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
I feel like I could lay in like a pool and just listen to Sinead O'Connor and stare at the sky and
real.
be truly at peace for like a few minutes.
Real. So before I continue yapping, if you like the background jazz music we have, the coffee house jazz music, you should listen tomorrow at noon. No, not noon, 1 p.m.
Oh, right.
Yes, tomorrow at 1 p.m. to listen to The Book with DJ Blue. He plays all jazz, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
So
And
He's entertaining.
good at singing and trumpet, too.
yeah,
Is he good at singing? I've never heard him sing.
yeah, he was singing today.
Yeah.
Neat.
Combos.
I do know he's a very talented trumpet player. I almost said trombone.
He's just a trumpet.
He's just a trumpet.
Yeah.
He's a very talented trumpetist.
Yeah, if you actually
Yeah.
didn't know, behind the scenes, we are actually just instruments.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
I am a talking alto flute.
You're the alto flute? I thought I was the alto flute.
L.
Like,
Do I have to be the C flute?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a high voice like a little flute.
No, you have to be the piccolo.
No, ew. My voice isn't that high.
No.
At least I don't think
Anyways.
it is. I don't know. I don't listen to myself talk. Wait, Miles, before you keep talking,
Yeah.
I have something very important to say.
Yes.
So before break, we were going to talk about this on the show that we were going to have before break, but then there was some issues with the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Marley and I,
Are you
on-
getting your muffin review?
yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Earlier in the week,
Yes.
we went to, what was it, Brewbaker's?
Yes.
And we got
Oh my god.
the cinnamon rolls. Yes, the
Yes.
cinnamon buns.
I'm
Oh,
so sorry. I got another one this
no, I remember
Friday,
you showed me. It was
and
so,
it was so good.
They are delicious. On the muffin scale, like they're not even technically muffins, but I'm still putting them here. 10 out
Well,
of 10.
can we call them muffins because they were in muffin wrap?
Yes. I think I would give them like a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
The only issue I had with it was that the muffin wrapper gets a little stuck on it.
I straight up ate parchment
Which
paper.
honestly, yeah, it's parchment paper, so it's totally fine. It's not like you're eating tinfoil.
Yeah. Like this past Friday, I went and I got another one because it was really snowy. It was snowy out, and I wanted to get breakfast, so I went to Brewbaker's, and they had cinnamon rolls, and I got one with no drink. I was like, the person was like, "Do you want anything else?" And I said, "No." And then she goes, "I respect
Riveting.
that."
I mean,
Absolutely
yeah, I mean those
riveting.
cinnamon buns are absolutely delicious. Like
Yeah.
I
I don't think you will truly understand
Unless you actually
unless
eat
you
one, which
yeah.
is, speaking of this, is really making me want to go get one right now, but it's like almost
Yeah,
9.
there's no way that they're open.
No, but
And they're also very expensive.
yeah, we're getting a cake tomorrow, so I don't
Yeah.
need a cinnamon roll.
Yeah. Little tiny cake.
Well, we're gonna get the-
medium-sized cake.
Yeah. Anyway, Miles, folk music?
Anyway, sorry.
Welcome.
We-
you're
we
welcome
just
for the
had
muffin
to-
review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, some review on actual muffins. This week I had Trader Joe's.
Oh God, not the Trader Joe's.
I
We
had
all
the
know about
Trader
Marley's
Joe's,
passion for Trader Joe's muffins.
coffee cake muffins, and they were gluten free. Now
Ooh.
I'm not gluten free, but when I say that these were like so good, like it was still dripping with coffee. If that's, I don't know if that's weird, but it tasted good. After you put them in the freezer for a week, delectable.
No.
So yeah,
I also.
it was like juicy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
is that a term for a muffin?
It's
Probably not.
Moist,
It
perhaps?
was, it was moist.
That's.
It was good.
When it comes to like a description of a muffin, I feel like moist is an okay word.
Yeah, like it wasn't dry. It was
Yeah.
good.
I don't know
yeah.
what they put in the DC chocolate chip muffins.
Oh my god, crack. I don't think I'm allowed to say that, so I'm sorry.
They are so good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we all know that sometimes the DC swings and misses
yeah.
with their.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Like
However,
90% of the time they swing and miss. But sometimes they swing and hit
they swing and hit hard.
with the muffins.
Yeah. And also, they made a vegan chicken parmesan
Mm.
earlier this week.
Did they?
Yeah. I think it was Monday. They swang and they hit so hard. They knocked that out of the park. I think I was just really excited because it was vegan chicken parmesan, and I love vegan chicken parmesan.
Anyway,
Irish folk music.
Irish folk music. We just needed to have our little.
Our little interjection of food
Yeah.
chat.
Your muffin review.
Yeah.
It's a tradition.
It is, and you're just gonna have to live with that now.
Yeah.
Maybe one day you will join us in our review.
Muffin review.
I don't know about that one.
You
I
could
don't know
review
about that.
another
Get
sort of
excited
food.
about food?
Not muffins.
Well, you could review a different kind of food. Did you have anything exciting this week for food?
Not that I can remember right now.
Did you have anything exciting over break? Maybe
I
like
mean,
a really good
home
bowl.
cooking, but
Well, yeah, like what?
stuff and things.
Whoa, he had stuff and things, guys.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what else
Have
he
you
has?
had any rat food?
What?
Have you ever eaten your rat's food?
No.
So
Why
anyway,
would I?
You never got curious and like
No.
I
I'm-
get curious.
have you ever tried what is hamster?
Guinea pig.
Guinea
No,
pigs?
I haven't. Maybe I will.
Please don't. Anyway,
Anyway, sorry.
moving on. You know what else Miles has? Ireland in his brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And therefore, there's like a little tiny
I
flag.
got
It's like
brain
the
rot,
it's brain rot except Ireland edition, so it's just kind of like mossy.
which is such a strange topic for me to be fixated in.
Ireland.
That is definitely O Canada.
Ooh, okay, so you know who's from Ireland who's super slay? Hosier.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
so
love
real.
Hosier.
The new EP drop.
Oh my god.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
I
My
do, and-
coffee black in my bed
I
at
think
3.
I'm pretty sure last I heard, Too Sweet has overtaken Take Me to Church, which is like
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy because Take Me to Church is one of his like
That was one of the
major
OGs.
things.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Anyway.
getting back to my original topic.
That wasn't Hosier.
yeah, and
That's for another day.
real. Another influence that was big on traditional Irish music and art was the IRA and the Troubles. If you don't know what the Troubles were, they lasted from about 1968 to 1998, and it was the UK loyalists, so the people, mostly Ulster Protestants in Northern Ireland, who wanted Northern Ireland to stay as part of the UK, versus the Catholic nationalists who wanted a united Ireland and wanted Northern Ireland to be free from the UK. And on the side of the nationalist Catholics was the IRA, which stands for the Irish Republican Army, and their main cause was resistance against the British. And something that sprouted up during this time a lot was resistance and rebellion songs. Resistance and rebellion songs have always been a part of Celtic culture, and I say Celtic because it includes Wales and Scotland as well, especially Ireland and Scotland. And they have been a part of that culture and the music culture since the Jacobites in the 17th century, which they were mostly from Scotland, I think. They wanted to like overthrow the king, I believe. That I could be wrong on that, but
You're not.
okay, cool, thanks.
Also, I'm so sorry. They were Jacobites.
Okay.
Jacobites. Sorry.
I just saw the word Jacob.
No, I know. It's just I had to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was gonna explode if I didn't.
Jacob.
Yeah.
The Jacobs.
Miss History major in the house right now.
I don't know what you want from me, man. If I were to
Okay.
pronounce Mixolydian wrong, you would probably go, actually, it's Mixolydian.
I wouldn't. No, I would.
Yes, you would. You know you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Actually.
Yeah.
Actually.
Mixolydian.
Oh. Anyways, obviously the Troubles and the fight for independence resulted in a lot of big events, and specifically the Easter Uprising before the Troubles happened in 1916. The Soldiers' Song, which was like the national anthem, was sung religiously and was used sort of as a revolutionary song during the time. So rebellion and revolution songs have always been a huge part of Irish culture because a lot of their history is fighting back against British. So, but to this day, resistance and rebellion songs are condemned by both conservatives and liberals because they're associated with the IRA, and the IRA used violent resistance instead of just being like, please, sir, let us have our land back.
It rhymes with schmarshmoms.
Yeah, and people don't really like that, even though sometimes that's what happens. So a lot of that rebellion is still condemned, and the IRA is still considered a terrorist organization by a lot of people. But speaking of the IRA, the last song I'm going to play for you guys tonight is Come Out Ye Black and Tans, which was written by Dominic Behan as a tribute to the IRA. And it's one of the most famous rebellion songs in Irish music history. And this recording is by the Wolf Tones. It's from 1972.
Brisk question. Why are they saying the black and tans?
I was just about to get to that.
Oh, hey!
The Black and Tans were the British constables that were sent to Ireland to enforce the British rule during the War of Independence, which was from 1919 to 1921. So that is what are referred to as the Black and Tans.
Oh, so they did that all while World War II.
All right, that was Come Out Ye Black and Tans by the Wolf Tones.
And I now have a wonderful video of Miles singing Come Out You Black and Tans by the Wolf Tones. It's phenomenal. Don't worry, guys. Maybe we'll post it. Maybe we won't.
Oh, God.
Don't worry. You look so silly. In a good way. In a positive way. You look so slay.
Right.
Anyway, do you have more things to talk about?
No, that's pretty much what I had. And we only have a few minutes left.
And therefore, for the last 4 minutes, hello, everybody. Welcome to iTalk time. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't have to be iTalk time. I mean, it can be iTalk time. I'm pretty good at it.
You are.
I am. I'm really good at this. Oh,
what are you guys' opinions on the show today of what I said?
I think it was great. I was actually very entertained, and I will
learned a
continue
lot.
to do more research on these matters.
Yeah.
Speaking of things I have to do research on, do you guys want to hear about a really fun saint from the medieval era?
Sure.
I swear she's real this time.
Guys,
Is
I
it-
swear she's real this time.
Is it the depressed one?
No, it's the crazy one.
Yeah.
So,
The saint of mentally ill people?
oh yeah. So her name is Christina the Astonishing. She is so strange. I'm writing a paper on her. That's why I'm talking about her right now. She died and then came back to life and then flew up into the rafters, and also on multiple occasions produced food out of her own body.
What?
Yeah, I've told you about this. I know I have.
Yeah.
You may not have been listening. You may have been screenaging. I'll tell you more about it later. It's super interesting, honestly, because it's like the paper that I'm doing, it's for a sexuality class, connecting how Christina can be labeled as queer. And then I will also be drawing it in to this other saint, Perpetua. I don't remember her very well because it was a couple weeks ago. But I do remember that she absolutely fits the vibe. And therefore, Yay. I have to do some research for this paper and I have to find another article, but I have no idea what I want this other article to do. See, I needed to have this conversation today. Some way, somehow. I needed to talk about this because I need to figure out what I need the other article to do. Because I've already got one talking about, like, part of the topic, and I've got one talking about the other chunk of the topic. And therefore, I need one more talking about the last chunk of the topic, but I don't know what the last chunk of the topic is. So I need to find the last chunk of the topic, which I think I actually came up with part of an idea about it. We're all appreciating my rambling about my major. I'm a little stressed, guys. Don't worry about it. I have that essay due soon. I've got another essay exam talking about, Euripides and someone else. Who was it? Thucydides and also Homer. And then I have an exam coming up for my anthropology class. And I also have a nice, lovely 4-performance run with the other 2 people on this podcast for Evening of Dance. So yeah. It's great. I don't know if that meant 2 minutes or... Oh, it meant 2 minutes. Cool. Yeah. So anyway, speaking of Evening of Dance, we're actually performing in that, the concert band. We are playing Rhapsody in Blue and a new piece. I don't know if I can say the title. Am I allowed to say that?
Maybe don't spoil it yet.
Yeah, I won't say it. But it's written by one of the professors on campus. She's amazing. Dr. Gilligan. Shout out.
Love Gilligan.
Shout out Dr. Gilligan. Absolutely phenomenal piece. It is so incredibly fun to play. We're performing with the dance team?
Dance
department.
Dance department.
Theater,
thank you.
Theater and dance department.
Yeah, we're performing with them for their upcoming Evening of Dance, which is on Thursday the 11th through Saturday the 13th. 2 performances on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's going to be super cool. I would thoroughly suggest coming and listening to us play specifically because we're really cool.
Yeah. And next week, our show is going to be on Herbie Hancock, which is one of my favorite jazz composers, because his birthday is like a few days before. So,
yay!
And we did the same thing for John Williams because his birthday was the day before.
And we
our
love
John
a good
Williams
composer birthday.
Yeah. So next week is going to